And then I'm posting videos regarding advocating for artists to, first of all, be acknowledged, artists and educators to be acknowledged in society for who they are and the contributions, the amazing contributions that they bring to society. Also, for stable pay for them and the work that they do and the contributions that they do, because honestly, when we talk about artists and educators and what they do, they completely put society on its feet and sustain it. So for me, I create, I educate, and I advocate because I must do it. It is the essential foundation and premise of who I am. But in a world that consumes culture 24/7, the artist, activist, educator, um, we have become an endangered species, if I can say that. We're the ones who find the heart of identity when no one is looking, yet we're the first to be asked to sacrifice of our own livelihood for the sake of the craft. Um, Instead of just saying the term teacher, and I talked in another video about the difference and how I see it, teacher versus educator and what it means to me. I frame an artist educator as the research and development department of society, if you want to get business terms attached to it. We are not just passing on skills, we're building the aesthetics and intellectual infrastructure that industries like tech, fashion, and the media eventually I can't even say it. Monetize. Oh my God. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy, Jesus. But Lord, what the fuck? They make money off of us. Jesus, why can't I say that right now? Um, we're flawed. We're human, and we still put one foot in front of the other, often through a struggle that remains invisible to the outside world. The goal for me personally has always been simple, and that is to look at myself in the mirror and know that I'm doing things on my terms and I'm doing it without any gimmicks. But let's talk and go a little deeper about those terms and what the actual cost of independence is. From a personal perspective, I followed all the protocols. I was the educated woman. I kept my head down. I um, managed the corporate ladder. I pursued marriage, received a few proposals that I graciously declined. Yes, I did. And even thought for a short time that the family would seal the deal for me. I did what the system told me would lead to success. I Hmm. But the narrative for me, that narrative specifically, was unfit because it didn't feed my soul. So I intentionally chose the intersection of art and advocacy. I can remember one time my father giving me a caveat. He told my siblings as a whole, but I took it personally for myself. And the caveat was basically never to be indebted to a system or person without having something of your own to fall back onto. He basically taught me to keep a parachute. Um, but what happens when the ground itself, and my ground has certainly done this, when the ground itself consistently moves and is never stable. Um, we've all seen the various videos of artists speaking their truths. One in particular, more recently, that comes to mind for me, was of R&B artist. I think her name is Gogo Marl. Marl. I don't really know much about her, but she posted a video and she was talking about giving up because she was told by her team that she wasn't doing enough, and she wasn't subscribing to the broken industry playbook. Another video was of an artist. He was walking around in his neighborhood, I believe, and it was posted on Instagram, if I remember correctly. And he was speaking about, he was very happy and speaking about his recent win of a Peabody Award. And while staring simultaneously at a negative $65 balance in his bank account. And let me pause for a moment. Here's the kicker to this. So I did some digging about the Peabody, um, and it holds prestige, amazing award to add to one's personal CV. But in order to have the award printed with your name on it, that proves you're a master of your craft, the artist has to pay $425, 25, $425 motherfucking dollars to show it off. Like, that's just absolutely, absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely the fuck not. Okay, let me go back. Let me go back. This is the prestige trap that artists, I believe, get themselves into. We're told that in order to make your bones, you're required to suffer. We're expected to improve our craft and build upon it and hone our skills, buy expensive equipment and maintain our education while simultaneously being locked out of basic human amenities like health care and affordable housing. We're the non-flashy cogs in the capitalist wheel that would stop turning without our labor. And I'm gonna just say that. But the creative paradox of all of this is that our input with decades of specialized training, emotional labor, and community building is put into the system. Our output produces trend-setting content and skilled workforce. The full reality of all of that leads to a cultural brain drain with a lack of basic financial security, forcing us and our talents out of the field. I recently saw a video by a music producer and a multi-instrumentalist. What is his name? Rick Beote, I think it was Beote. I think that's how you pronounce it. He noted in a video on YouTube that was titled something about like why are the rich kids making it in the industry, something like that. Um, and basically he was saying that the industry has become the playground for inherited wealth. For the rest of us, those that are putting the time in and effort, the labor who have done the training, done the schooling and all of that, um, the mavericks, the artivists, there is no blueprint that we have. We're moving on a wing and a prayer. Hallelujah. I can remember documenting, starting to document my journey as a blues woman. I was spinning the world from a different lens, an activist, academic artist lens, only to have the ground cut from under my feet. Um, Grants were pulled from me and projects that I was working on by the administrator, the current administration that we have, who have a vendetta about everybody that's not like them. I'm gonna go into that on this video, but here we are. And I was just done. So, a couple of questions that has come up throughout this whole process for me is why does society feel that they can affix a higher human capital value to CEOs and politicians than to the people who are literally designing the fabric of our culture? That's a question. We are operating on a 21st century reality governed by a 19th century system. Politicians are, Lord, the question, the question that comes into play, into mind for me throughout all of this, how, why does society affix a higher human capital value to CEOs, politicians, rather than to people who are literally designing the fabric of our culture? I believe that we are operating in a 21st century reality, yet being governed by a 19th century infrastructure, mindsets. Our politicians are playing in antiquated cesspools. I'm just say that. They tell us to look to the future. And in my mind, I'm like, what fucking future? What fucking future? A future where AI is programmed to copy the voices of artists and steal our imagery. A future where greedy profiteers are using algorithms to lock artists out of their own creation. A future that strips human beings of civil rights while demanding that we remain inspiring. What future is that? Artists and educators are fighting for the very livelihood of human civilization. We're demanding a return on our investments as market makers. Unless you want to talk business, as market makers, we're the architects of the dash, the space between birth and death. We make the dash loud. We make it meaningful. We're not luxury. We're a necessity. And it's time the compensation reflects the contribution because not only is underpaying us unfair, it's just bad for economics.